Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the Cameras Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with director Tyler Winther with his movie Other Side. Let's take a look at a clip.
Hey, don't do something stupid. Relax. It's gonna be okay. Put the gun down, all right? We're gonna work this out. Go!
Tyler, congratulations on your movie and thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And you're actually a double threat because you wrote it and you're the co-director of it, which is amazing. Tell us a brief synopsis of The Other Side for those who haven't seen it.
Brief synopsis is that it takes place in the early 70s in Los Angeles, and the main crux of the story is that there's a rookie cop on his first day, and he's forced to make a really intense decision, split-second decision, that will have some serious ramifications for his life, his career, and everyone's life who was involved on the day. So
it was really a well-written piece, and it's so difficult to capture an audience in 5 minutes and capture their hearts and their attention, their minds, and send away with people thinking beyond your film about how they felt about it. Where did the kind of inspiration come for writing this particular film?
this film was interesting, and I can say film because it was on film.
It was
awesome.
on Kodak.
Kodak.
I mean, it's so good.
Coming
it's
back.
So Kodak is. I like that. Kodak's coming back.
Kodak's,
That's the new slogan.
they're back.
They're back. They
It's
are back.
awesome.
They are back.
They're awesome. They're really great. They've really shown a lot of love for this movie, which is really good.
Oh, that's great.
The primary inspiration came. There was the DP and co-director Steve. He came to me. He's like, hey man, there's a Super 8 competition that I want to enter. I was like, sweet man, I've never shot Super 8 before. Let's see what happens. He's like, but I don't have a story. And I was like, okay, fine. Let's talk. Let's see what happens. So we met at a coffee shop and just started talking about stuff. He's like, I think I've got like a zoom lens, so on like a Super 8 camera. I was like, okay, let's do 70s then. Like, it's automatic.
Amazing.
And then from there, he said, okay, cool. We'll just kind of figure it out as we go. And then I started watching the news. It was shortly after Ferguson had just taken place. And the news that had coming out, in that sense, rightfully so, was there was just an incredibly, it was like the dialogue that was happening in the world in regards to civilians and police was just becoming incredibly negatively polarized. And I grew up with a few of my friends, some of their brothers, families, police officers. They do great work. So the general narrative was born out of just this attempt to thread a line between two very polarized groups of the population,
right,
and to basically just kind of not take a stand, not take a side, but just to show that on either side there are victims, on either side there are villains and heroes. And it's pretty much a matter of perspective in many cases of kind of, what determines, who's the good guy, who's the bad guys, like kind of like whose side you're on. So
you wanted to bring that story attention about what's, kind of taken place back in the 70s, but also is kind of resonant with what's going on.
Exactly. That's
today.
the thing. I mean, fortunately, it hasn't really changed that much since 1972. I mean, it has, obviously, but like even still, like it's still conversations that we're still having.
We've still got a lot of work to do, and it's still
a lot of work.
Like you say, it's still conversations we're actually having.
Yeah.
I'm quite amazed. It's not very often you get directors that are brave enough to do a car chase. How is it like filming something like that? How do you go about making that kind of like, kind of high adrenaline moment that we all love to watch in movies? How do you make your Fast and Furious moment?
First thing to do is to talk to FilmLA.
Well, they're our sponsor, so we'll
and
love that. Thank you,
the first
FilmLA.
thing
We
to
love
do
you.
is talk to FilmLA and to get your permit and to close off your street so you can control the environment.
Okay, you just got the commercial for FilmLA. They were loving that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. That is the truth. Regardless of the plug, that was the first thing we did. We scheduled. We were going to shoot this and we didn't have enough time to clear the permits, so we shut the whole thing down. I was like, that's like, we shut it down, and then we got enough time so I drew a block out in downtown LA, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be our maze. This is gonna be everything. So we sat and kind of like AD'd it more or less, and then we had our runway, and then we could move and do whatever we wanted in that area more or less.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, we made our own back lot simply just by permitting the right sections, and so everything looked different. We had different facades, and we could just kind of run around and do what we wanted to do.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So when you do that, all of a sudden now you bring this crazy car from '75, like a convertible red Cadillac. It was great.
Brilliant.
And then you just stick your actors in there, and then you stick your camera in the back and kind of hope for the best. I mean, there was no mounts, there was nothing crazy, there was no stuff like that. We wanted it to feel as real as possible, so I stuck Steve, the DP, who's like 6'5". He's like this huge dude. We stuck him in the back seat of this thing, and it was just do a set of French overs, and then we'll do some exteriors, and we're good.
Amazing.
And just make it match. And then he really added some great effects with just making sure that we got some like classic 70s like
it felt, it was so classically 70s. It was amazing.
Just wanted to do that vibe.
I was ready to get my flares out. I mean, it was brilliant. What would you say was kind of like some of your biggest challenges in making the film?
The biggest challenge was getting the car, and then once we had the car, that was smooth sailing from there for the most part. The other biggest challenge was getting the wardrobe right. That was huge for me. I took time before I started directing films to be in fashion design.
Oh, very good.
So it's incredibly important to me, and getting that right, getting the period right, because you're gonna someone's gonna call you out for it, whether they're watching the film in.
Last thing you want, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all about it, because when it comes down to it, when you're making a movie, it's all about creating those illusions, and anything that distracts from that illusion and kind of puts a crack in that is it makes your movie less than it should be. And it distracts from it. So if you have the opportunity to, and you have the money and you have the resources to do it, get your costumes right if you're doing period. Like and your hair.
And your hair, exactly.
Just get the whole damn thing right.
Everything was down to the T, because you always know when it is when people don't notice those things and they just accept it that it's the 70s, and but you really mastered it well. I'd have been quite happy getting into some 70s clothes. That was pretty cool to me.
Awesome.
Awesome. What is it like? Again, you go in for this one competition. What is it like to have your film selected for NewFilmmakers Los Angeles? And have your film in front of an audience again, and just have it on this roller coaster ride with festivals. How does that feel?
So getting accepted after, both being accepted at all, period, in anything you do is like great. Whether you like to say that or not, whether we want to admit it or not, it's always nice to have someone give you that good job, man. Because at the end of the day, you're making short films. You're not really doing it for money. You're doing it just to basically do another.
Yeah.
Very few, I'm not gonna say no one, but very few sign up to do short films being like, yes, I'm gonna make money. It's not gonna happen. It's like you do that so that you can put it out there and then get the opportunity to do another one. And so when I got the call about NewFilmmakers it was my birthday.
Oh,
of all time.
You timed it well. That was
that's right. It was my birthday, and I was in a tent in Canada.
Of course you were.
Yeah, I was on a camping trip, oddly enough, with my mom. We did a mother's son camping trip, and I stepped out of the tent and I got a call. I'm like, hello, and he's like, this guy's on the phone. He's like, hi, my name's Andrew. And
Andrew.
And I was like, oh, hey Andrew, what's up, man? And he's just like, I really think you should. It was either like a phone call, it was a phone call and an email, or an email and a phone call. I don't know, but it was like, Andrew reached out and was like, you should really submit. And I was like, oh, okay, I get, okay, cool, yeah, we didn't anticipate doing this, and then I looked at what the festival was, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then I went back in the tent, and I was smiling the whole damn day. I was like, this is awesome. And I hadn't gotten in yet, but I was just
on a mother-son trip in Canada, in a tent on your birthday, and Andrew, my goodness me, there you go.
So it's amazing. It really is amazing.
Fantastic. Well, it's a pleasure. I mean, it's a pleasure for us to have great content, and we're nothing without the filmmakers. So thank you very much. What's next for you, Tyler?
Well, since we shot this. I know between Steve and I both, we think we've completed now about 10 other projects that we've done. I just
kind of you whip them out, don't you?
Yeah, I just kind of had this creative explosion. I just started just shooting like mad. So I've got 3 shorts that I directed last year that are all coming out this year,
Wow.
which is exciting.
So you're busy. Well, we expect to see a lot more of your work.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff. The one I'll tell you about, the one is this super cool project. It's called Atomic. It's the one I wrote right after this one, and it's basically the story of a teenage girl who's, and it takes, again, a period. Starts in the 50s and works its way up to the 80s.
Oh, wow.
But it's all with I basically built a cube on a stage and did like reverse projections, and I just turned this one like kind of 3-sided box
Wow.
into a bunch of different sets, and interiors, exteriors, all of it. And I stuck this one actress in there with a double, so it's just her playing 3 versions of herself. So it's very like
amazing,
very like stage theatrical in that sense. I realized it should have been a play, but as I was shooting it, but
no, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's going to be coming out in the next 2 months or so. So that'll be super fun.
Well, I mean, please keep
travels
us
through it,
updated, and obviously you don't need a locations manager on your set because you just seem to find these, wonderful settings, which is really very good. No, listen, congratulations on your film, Ty. You did a really fantastic job, and
thanks so
we're
much.
much looking forward to seeing much more of your work. So thank you.
Thank you.